Good evening, everyone, and happy Groundhog Day to those of you in the United States. Unfortunately, Punxsutawney Phil has decreed 6 more weeks of winter. So, we're in this for the long haul, and I hate it. But to get through the next 6 weeks, I got streaming to do. I also forgot what else I was going to say. I'm sure it was something profound, but that's fine. Just go back to go back to Ace Attorneying. Nothing profound ever happens here. So last time there was Who's Your What's It's mysterious replica. What the fuck is meant by a mysterious replica? The only thing I know is that we were on our way to the prosecutor's office after talking to Detective Crescent about how he has an airtight lullaby. But alright, let's get cracking. So, alright. Move. Oh, hey, I'm not just going to the prosecution's office in general, I'm going straight to Gavin's office. This reminds me of something that I mentioned last week about how this current set piece that we're on is pointless. And even though we had our interaction with Detective Crescent here, I stand by that because that could have just as easily happened in the Gaviner's dressing room. So, hooray for inconsistent and stupid decisions. It's Ace Attorney, what the hell do I expect? Well, I expect Phoenix Wright to show up at some point. It's actually quite startling that I haven't seen him in a little while. Let's go to Gavin's office. See if I can light that up with the igniter that I've got now. Huh. Huh. You know, I'm not sure what I was expecting. But this is very, very different than 1 kilometers Lost as Edgeworth's office. Certainly a hell of a lot more guitars and a heck of a lot less case summaries or case files. I mean, I'm sure that drawer in the background, right, that chest of drawers in the background's got them, but, like, Lost as Edgeworth had an entire fucking wall of bookcases full of them. To be fair, this guy, I guess, alright, I'm trying to figure out, no, by the time we got to Lost as Edgeworth in... It would have been Rise from the Ashes. He had only been prosecuting, what, 4 or 5 years? And he already had a fuck ton of case files? So Klavier only prosecuting for 7 doesn't make any... fuck, I'm overanalyzing. So, this is it. The Gaviner's head office. No, it's Prosecutor Gavin's prosecutorial office, which he stores some of his guitars in, sure, but also, what's with that dental chair or whatever in the background? It's not the band's office, it's the prosecutor's office. Yeah, so this is why I am asking, what is this creepy thing, object, whatever? Looks like Prosecutor Gavin is on the phone, talking about some kind of weird object. Oh well, guess we'll have to come back. All that fucking muss and fuss about going to the prosecutor's office, and we've got to leave immediately. Or we can hide behind that bookshelf real quiet like. That's eavesdropping, which does sound like something Little Goblin might want to do. Why? We'd just be waiting quietly so he won't notice. What if we heard something scandalous about the band? She'd make a good reporter for a gossip mag. What? A replica? Oh, I see. So it gave it a title of something that hadn't happened yet. This is Mysterious Replica. Fine. So why was he after it in the first place? Yes, lettuce. Lettuce? Look, don't talk to me about those Boginians, okay? Just get me that report, chop chop. And stop leaving mysterious objects in my office, okay? Russian beep. It's times like this when I start to miss Darien. Huh? What are you two farfel munches doing here? Hiya. Tee-hee. Just thought we'd drop in. Hope you're not mad. How could I be? There is not enough tee-hee in the world in any case. Have a seat. Prosecutor Gavin, the philanthropist. Watch and learn, Apollo. So, who have you come to see? Huh? Klavier, lead vocalist of the Gaviners. Or Prosecutor Gavin, scourge of the courtroom. He does have a good work-life balance. Again, it is something that I respect about Klavier. He's got a good separation of work-life balance. And even, like, we've seen the past three main prosecutors, right? Kilometers lost his Edgeworth, had some kind of chip on his shoulder. Then Franziska von Karma came in. She had a grudge because Phoenix beat the crap out of her little brother. And then Godo came in with a chip on his shoulder because he blamed Phoenix for Mia Fey's death. Meanwhile, Apollo literally is the one who got Klavier's, I think, older brother found out as a murderer. And Klavier is by far the fucking friendliest prosecutor we've had. No grudge, no vendetta, nothing. I respect it. What do you think he means, Apollo? I think he's giving us a choice. We can either ask him about the concert or the case. Which way to go? That's a very good question. I can at least let him know how his guitar caught fire, but I'm gonna examine everything first. Starting with, what the fuck is this? What's that on the... Hello, Normans. What's that on the plate there? Is that gum? Gum? Maybe he was chewing it when the phone rang? So he put it on the plate for later consumption. You'd think a rock star could afford a fresh stick. Don't jump to any conclusions now. That is no chewing gum. Take a closer look. Also, I really shouldn't be offering, should I? What is that? Yes, Chico the parakeet, that is 5 gum. That is the stupidest looking 5 gum I have ever seen. Also, hello. Looks like a lump of plastic. Wait, that phone call. Yes, that is why I am asking. What is this creepy thing, object, whatever? Yes, looks like... It's like we didn't just see this 5 seconds ago. At a replica? So why was he after it in the first place? Yeah, lettuce. Prosecutor Gavin, does this have something to do with Mr. Lettuce? His name is Lettuce. Wait a second. You were listening to my phone call, weren't you? Who? Us? I tried to stop him, really, but he forced me to. Hey, you were the one digging for a Scandal Ms. reporter. To tell the truth, I'm not even sure what it is. But apparently it's a model of something undercover agent Mr. LeTouse was after. This lump? Would you mind telling us what you do know about it? Alright. So once again, my finely tuned nose sniffed out something very important on my first examination. I bet you that unlocked another talk option. Yeah, everyone's always after shiny rocks. Oh! I know what that is. That's not just any shiny rock, that's a shiny stone. Someone was looking to evolve a Roselia into a Rose Raid, or a Toga Tick into a Toga Kiss. The reason that Interpol had to get involved is because that's interdimensional bullshittery that's not allowed in this game. Right, Emolga Brine? He is right that there's not enough tee-hee in the world. People need to laugh more. Anyway, let's take a look at this file cabinet. Oh, okay. I was specifically looking at the file cabinet, but Apollo was looking at the guitars, sure. Normans, this is what happens when you drop something through an interdimensional portal. You cause shenanigans and somebody ended up dead. Look at all the guitars. Why so many? You can never have too many guitars. They're like my lovers. I didn't just hear him say that. Oh, jealous much, Apollo? They're backup guitars, Apollo. Don't you know anything? Rock and rollers always smash their guitars at the end of a show. No wonder it's so hard to make it as a musician. You know what? You should try rocking a little, Apollo. And breaking his guitars while he watches? That might be a little too rocking. Ah, of course, I would never do such a thing. Did I not say they are like my lovers? Do I seem like the kind of man who would do such a thing to the ones he loves? No, not at all. I mean, you're Mr. Gavin, upstanding prosecutor. What happened to Prosecutor Gavin, God of Rock? Alright, I thought that there was going to be something funny in the filing cabinet, but sure, whatever. What's this thing? This display shows all the evidence for the case. Look, Apollo, he's got 3 televisions. Hey, don't look at those too closely. I'm still sorting out the details. Each monitor shows evidence for a different case. He does them all at once? I wish I had 3 TVs. What would you possibly do with 3 television sets? I may look laid back and relaxed, but in reality, I'm quite busy, you know. I'm living life at turbo speed, doing magic, going to school, investigating cases. But if I had 3 big TVs, I could watch a magic video, do my homework, and catch a crime drama all at once. The first 2 seem useful, I suppose. I'm guessing that's, yeah, all 3 of the screens. Well, there's a guitar that got left behind. What's wrong, Apollo? You look confused. What else is new? I was just wondering where the work chair in this office... was. You're looking at my favorite chair right now. That's a massage chair, isn't it? That is an ergonomic adjustable office. Oh, I love the ones with the vibrating rollers on your back. Those feel great. Did I say something wrong? No, I merely realized the futility of an explanation. So I guess that was his chair, which I thought was some kind of doctor's office dental chair, and no, what the hell is this? Oh, that's a window, and those are skyscrapers that I'm seeing outside. Sure, why the fuck not? Hello, Joe! I'm talking to myself because, unfortunately, Dawning is probably not going to be here tonight, and I also knew that LG was going to be gone last weekend, this week. Dawning ended up getting a migraine, so that is unfortunate. Dawning may be popping into the Twitch chat at some point, but not the voice chat, so I got to do all the voices by myself. Hooray! As for how it's going, it's going okay. I have Yoko here as always. I've got some water. I had a nice dinner. My commute didn't take me ungodly long amounts of time to get home today, unlike last Friday. So yeah, we're doing all right. But yes, most of the people who come here end up here from Bulba Garden one way or another. That's just kind of where most people found me and know me from, which makes perfect sense to me. The view is exhilarating, ja. Oh no, it's no oops, Chico. I fully acknowledge that, like, Bulba Garden is where I got my start. Nothing wrong with that. I sit here gazing down upon the city, writing my songs. Try working on cases. You just said he's got 3 of them working on the first place. Look. Everyone basically agrees with you, Joe, that Rossiu sucks at the beginning of Season 2 of Gurren Lagann. I don't disagree. And yes, Yoko mentioned, for those who don't know, I was in Japan back in December and got myself a little souvenir while I was there. She's adorable and she sits next to my laptop. And my wife is totally not jealous. It is the same thing. I write lyrics the same way I corroborate evidence. It is the harmony between the logical mind and the primal spirit within. Is it so hard to admit you like staring out your window and daydreaming? Yeah, but okay, his daydreams actually seem to result in shit that makes perfect sense. Like, he actually manages to get stuff done. Also, I kind of like how his desk is a sideways speaker. That's pretty clever. Wow, look at... Okay, a stereo. Sure. Wow, look at that stereo. To me, a life without music is inconceivable. I never turn down the volume, even when I'm working on a case. That's such a huge speaker. It must be really loud. This room is completely soundproof, of course. The other prosecutors would have my head on a platter if they heard my loud music blaring in the hallways. Really? At my place, I can hear when the neighbors turn their VCR on to record something. Maybe you can get Mr. Wright to talk to them. Work something out? And lately, we've been getting complaints about Apollo's voice. Well, that's a Chords of Steel. Again, it doesn't specifically say Chords of Steel, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that that particular phrase isn't going to happen often. So just anytime Apollo's voice training is mentioned, that's a Chords of Steel. And yes, Chico the Parakeet, I believe we determined that this game came out in 2007. I'm pretty sure DVDs were a thing at that point, but VCR was still probably predominantly the main form of video. I don't know. I was alive for all this, but it just happened so quickly and I wasn't paying that much attention. Maybe I'll go have a word with Mr. Wright, too. It's a nice little mini guitar he's got on his desk. And of course, the burnt guitar from the performance the other night. That was an impressive bit of pyrotechnics that did this, and I can tell you how it happened. That's the guitar from the concert, isn't it? Oh good, we see this again. I thought it was one of the staff playing a gag on me. I never guessed that that wasn't the end of it. Like, it's really, really fucking funny. Of course, all we saw was the little clip here, but in previous times that we actually saw, he was playing his guitar nice and and then starts to smoke, it catches fire, he's surprised and he fucking falls backwards and almost off the damn... No, he actually does fall off the damn stage. Very amusing. Actually, I'll show you what. I can actually show you that now, because I've got the video. Here. Fast forward. See, it's actually not, like, again, it's high production. And you see him performing with Le Mirror. And he's strumming his guitar, and... Ooh, I saw a flash in there. That was probably just the spotlight. And, oh no, she's gone. She's dead. Deaded. And you see this burning on in my heart. Fire. And he's strumming his guitar. And you see the smoke, and up, and he falls off the stage. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at you. I can't help it, it's really funny. I never guessed that wasn't the end of it. I had a specialist analyze the guitar incidentally. Oh, did you find anything out? He didn't have a lot of time, so it's still unclear. But the results he came up with were intriguing. Intriguing? Does it have anything to do with this little, this transmitter and this, what is it? The not incinerator. The button that I have, what pushes a button and then something lights on fire? How does that guitar tie into everything that went on? Sounds like something we should ask about. Well, fine. This is why you examine everything first, probably. Present my attorney's badge. My apologies, but there's no way I am going to talk details about the case with you. If you want to get my attention, bring me something dramatic. I'm not here to get your attention, Gavin. I'm here to get your information. I have your autograph. The Guitar Serenade, might I ask, did you enjoy it? It's a lovely song. I got all teary-eyed. Ah, yes, the cursed song that turned a concert into a tragedy, wasn't it? I was singing it for you, Fraulein. Whoa, that's so special. It was Le Mirror singing, actually. I am glad you've moved. It is that kind of song. Ack! I've run out of snide comments. Yeah. That's generic, I figured. The postcard? No. No, I gotta... Look, with me, I've gotta try to present everything. I've gotta try to poke everything. A gun! I have a gun! He's not wrong. I'm too short to shoot this gun. As is my client, by the way. Alright, the mixing board, which is in my evidence for reasons that are still unclear. I've got your keys still. Well, fine, I guess you don't want those back. The autopsy report. No, I figure that wasn't going to do anything. This is why I never get anything done, because I figure most of this is going to be just generic shit. But I present anyway, because why the fuck not? Alright, here's something. I thought that might have been the same as the lyrics for Guitarist Serenade, but sure. What do you know about this? See, this is where I started to actually think he's going to need, or he's going to have some information for us. That looks like one of our toy-issue headsets. Why are you wearing it, Fraulein? I thought it'd be cool. I'd pretend I was concert security and stuff. Actually, we found it at the venue and thought you might want it. Oh, no, please. You keep it. It goes well with your cape, Fraulein. You think? She does look like she belongs on a stage, that's for sure, with that outfit. I've got a remote igniter, that's the word I was looking for. Not incinerator, igniter. Here's a trigger. Don't press the red button. Prosecutor Gavin, about this remote. Oh, wait. Excuse me, did you say something? This remote control might be valuable ammunition for the trial tomorrow. I can bring it in, nobody will know what it'll do, and I'll just say I have a fucking bomb, find my client not guilty. It's too early to show my hand now. You would think someone with such a loud voice would speak more clearly, Ja. I'm guessing it's gonna be the same for this igniter. No! Interesting. Alright, fine. Let's talk about the case. That reminds me, did you see the paper today? Yes! I always read the TV section. Good girl, how about you, hair forehead? I read the funnies. That makes perfect sense, actually. Then you will not have seen this. Concert of Tragedies. Or of Tragedy. The Prosecutor's Deadly Song. Ha 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 ha. Oh, is that a new show? I haven't heard about that one. It's not a show, it is an article. News, you know? Oh, does this have anything to do... It is literally about the case. Why is everybody and his attorney so fucking stupid? Since getting back from the trial, my phone has been ringing off the hook. How does it feel to take a man's life is a song? Have you ever hummed a man all the way to death row? That sounds dirty. Okay, we kind of love them because they're stupid, Chico, but I actually hate Phoenix because he's so stupid. Like, Phoenix will never get back on my good side ever because he abandoned Iris, and I can't forgive him for that. Do you think you could sing for me over the phone? It is endless, endless. Thanks to the case you made today, of course. Oh, that was all Apollo's idea. Hey! Uh-oh. Is that newspaper in Wingding? Is that a newspaper over there, too? Ah, yes, the Bulgarian Daily Bugle. Go ahead, take a look. Well, I'm looking at my Daily Bugle Lego set that's right behind me. Nothing special about that. It's got Spider Pig riding up the side of it, I suppose. Oh, God. Okay, at least it's not Wingding, but still. Thanks. I can read Borginian. It says, "We are the Borg. You will be assimilated. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Resistance is futile. Or something like that, anyway. Things are always lost slightly in translation. Oh, that is right. Suffice it to say, this is big news over there as well. Though they didn't go so far as to mention the lyrics to my song. Probably no one in Borginia could believe it. It is probably seen as just a theory at this point. Their journalists didn't see the need to mention it. That makes perfect sense. I hardly know what to think of it myself, mostly because when I think, my head catches on fire. Borginian newspaper added to the court record. Article about the case, it doesn't mention the lyrics of Lamiror's ballad. Sure, we added the one that I can't read to my court record. Lamiror's testimony will probably be in the evening edition, I'd imagine. Which is why I've had Darian step down from the investigation for now. Yeah, we ran into him moping in front of the Coliseum. Lamirov was my invited guest, so it is a rather delicate situation. You understand how much I want to solve this case quickly if possible. Well, let's check my new evidence, and probably present it right back at him. Yeah, okay. It just continues to look like this. Perfect sense. Perfect sense. The Guitar's Serenade. I really love that song. It has such a great atmosphere to it. You co-wrote it with Lemure, if I remember correctly. That is right. It was last year. I had gone to tour Borginia's legal system, as a matter of fact. And that's when you heard Lemire's voice. It was at a small jazz club. I wept that night. I knew I had to meet her, to talk with her. So I used my influence, which is not inconsiderable, to arrange a meeting. Wow, prosecutors really have I'm guessing he did so as the lead vocalist and guitarist of the Gaviners, not as a prosecutor. But sure. From what we've seen in this universe, prosecutors can do whatever the fuck they want because they're prosecutors. Sure, we'll continue with that theory. I think he's sort of a special case, Trucy. Thankfully, she liked the work I did, and we wrote the song right there backstage. Machi on the piano, that dulcet voice, and myself on the guitars that I had borrowed from Lamiro. And music history was made. Probably not an experience your average lawyer would ever have. Like Apollo, say. It is a memory I hold dear, and the songs that we wrote that night was this. And that very guitar is right over there. You mean this charred lump? Don't call it a lump. That's a piece of history. The lump is on that plate behind me. And it's only browned, not really charred. No matter, I shall never sing that song again. I wouldn't have used that guitar again either, even if I could have. What happened during that song anyway? Why did his guitar suddenly catch on fire? Do you think you could show it to us? Your charred, slightly burnt guitar. I'm sure he doesn't mind. What more could happen to it? Lemire. So that guitar that he was saying, that, first of all, that was an expensive fucking guitar if memory serves. And it was just gifted to him by Lemire. Alright? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Lemire. How did it end up here? She gave it to me. I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So this guitar is from Borginia? That is it. That it is. If you couldn't carry it on the plane, changes in air pressure and humidity, ruins the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lemuro's studio. I use shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. That's an abuse of power! But as we said, prosecutors get away with absolutely everything, so they brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. See? Prosecutors do have a lot of clout. I still think he's a special case. Such a valuable guitar. It's too bad it got burned. Prosecutor Gavin's guitar added to the court record, a gift from Lemuror sent from Borginia, burned the night of the concert, and I know how. What was it that you were saying earlier? Something about intriguing results from an examination of the guitar? That's right. What was that all about? Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front. Most of them do, yes. I see, like, two... Yeah, I see two of them in the background that don't, but do go on. It is called the sound hole. Ah, so that's what it's called. Well, they found something attached to the wood, just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes, this So there were two of them! This is getting out of hand. Now, there are two of them. So what was the one doing in the Gaviner's... Well, okay, that does make some sense, because how would a fucking igniter in wasn't even in it was in Lemuror's studio. So how would that have gotten there from his guitar? So, okay, my theory is going to shreds, but I still know how the guitar was burned, and it was that. Also, hi, Dawning. Nice of you to say hi to Klavier, but not to me. The examiner is busy with evidence for the case now, however. So he'll be checking this out once he is finished with everything else. I know what it is. Oh yeah, you did say hi to me earlier. Fair enough. You didn't say hi to Yoko, though, which is also rude. Odd. That device looks strangely familiar. Yoko says hi back. Alright. Before we talk about the strange lump, I've got some new evidence to present this guy. First of all, I can tell him what the hell this is. It has to be one of these. What is it, Apollo? That device that was found in your guitar. Take a look at this. ... exclamation mark. Why, that looks like the same thing. What is it? It's an igniter. Another one? It was at the crime scene in Lemuror's dressing room. Detective Sky found it, actually. At the scene of the crime? What could that mean, I wonder? Actually, I'm wondering the same fucking thing. Because I thought that was the one that was in your guitar somehow. But it ignites. So, again, my original theory was that this device was something that overrode the speaker. Then it turned out to be an igniter, so I thought it was the one that was that blew up Klavier's guitar. Now, it's clearly not that. So what was it doing? What would you need a fire for? In Lamureur's dressing room. Dawning, I'm thinking again. I don't think this is good news. Hey, can you read this to me? No, you can't read it to me. Fine. Here's your guitar. That's dramatic. Okay, fine. One of the igniters in my head. Oh god, who put the red button? The strange lump. This was found in Mr. LeTouse's bag. It is apparently a replica of something. Replica? It's a small lump about 1.5 inches long. He analyzed it, but he has not much to say, other than it is a lump of plastic. Perhaps it was to be used in the identification of whatever it is a replica of. No, he's here to get Klavier's information. Probably. You mean whatever Mr. Lettuce was after? That seems to be the most logical explanation. Also, again, his name is LeTouse, not Lettuce. Well, what is it? Don't ask me, Fraulein. Oh, if you don't want to tell us, you could just say so. I put in a request to Interpol via my contacts in Bohemia, but apparently there is a block on information somewhere along the chain. Oh? There is something either Interpol or Bohemia doesn't want to share. Something about this little piece of plastic. Mr. Lettuce went through all that trouble to become Lamureur's manager. Just to come to this country to find out more about this lump? And he died for it. Replica added to the court record, replica of something held by Mr. Lettuce, apparently the focus of his investigation. I've seen someone to the Colosseum to fetch Lamureur. Perhaps she knows something about it being a Bohemian. I believe that covers everything I'm at liberty to talk to you about. Oh. Thanks for dropping by, Hair Forehead. Forget that! I need to present you more evidence. Present you this replica. What the? It says sample. Dawning. It says sample. Sample, huh? I think they put a big enough label on it. Maybe it's to keep people from eating it by mistake. Although it might not keep goblins from eating it. Yes, they might think it was an otherwise tasty, multicolored lump of plastic. Maybe it's the manufacturer. Sample toys when you can't afford the real thing. Sounds like a company Mr. Wright would like. Yeah, that sounds about right. Also, Dawning, you do still have your little goblin knows bests, despite not being in voice chat, which you can use whenever you want to for whichever one you want to. Just saying, you don't have to be in voice chat to use those. That is actually a good point, Dawning. Like, it is... She can't see, and it's just a lump of plastic, so... To be fair, like, he's trying to get the information legitimately through Interpol or Borginia. He kind of doesn't have much of a choice because he's being stonewalled, so I guess he's going about it however he can. Thanks. Why, you gave me so much information. That igniter, for instance. It's an act of desperation, is what it is. Oh, that. I've never met an attorney so forthcoming with a prosecution. It is a big help. Or perhaps you're just a tad naive, hmm? I guess I could have hit it, but somehow showing it. I take it they wouldn't let me leave without showing him the igniter. To be fair, again, first of all, it's not like prosecution and defense attorney can't be friends, right? I think at the end, Phoenix Noodleman and Kilometers Losses Edgeworth were friends, even if they went at each other in the courtroom pretty well with everything they had. But again, this guy is not an antagonist. He's not. Unlike the three other main prosecutors that we met, and then Manfred von Karma as well. He's significantly more friendly. And again, he's actually got more of a reason to have a grudge than some of the other prosecutors who were antagonistic did. Right? I'm the guy who got his older brother convicted of murder and thrown in jail. And he's kind of just shrugging it off. Like he takes that first case of turnabout corner against me, not because he wants a vendetta, because he wants to see what the attorney who got his brother locked up is like. And apparently immediately falls in love and blah, 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 blah. I could say the same to you, Prosecutor Gavin. ... Question mark. Thanks for the information about the strange lump of plastic. The one that Mr. Lettuce was investigating. Hey, that's right. I've been sinking here for ahead. We encounter many incidents in our lives, all of us. Not all of them is simple. Especially not the ones where people are killing the song lyrics. That is why I try to at least remain simple inside. Yeah, damn, my brother killed someone. Gotta find out how he managed to get caught. To be fair, I'd be curious. And I keep a simple goal to discover the truth. It took fucking Losses Edgeworth how many games to come to this conclusion? At least a game and a half, probably 2 games. And this guy kind of just intuits it on his own. Okay, in some ways, maybe Klavier is a Gary Stu. In fact, he probably fucking is. But I still like him better than Kilometers Losses Edgeworth. Dot, 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 dot. He's incredibly chill. None of the other prosecutors had any chill whatsoever. That is why I like to keep relations civil, ja. That is all. I can live with that. It's really quite refreshing. Mr. Prosecutor, Fraulein, can I ask why you sing in a band? Ah, because I want women to turn and look when I walk down the street. Well, there goes Dawning's theory. That's pretty simple, too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do. Another time, perhaps. Adios, Prosecutor Gavin. Unless I can... Ooh, I can re-examine everything in his office now. What a cool chair. I'm going to sit in it now while no one's looking. Wow. So this is what it feels like to be a star. Who'd have thought a chair could bring so much joy into someone's life? I can imagine sitting here strumming my guitar. Oh, it's you, Hair Forehead. Sorry, I'm busy. Woo! That was a remarkably bad imitation. Tee, maybe I'll make that part of my Wonder Bar repertoire. These guitars are vintage models, probably pretty expensive, too. They're even tightly under lock and key. Aren't you good at picking locks? Apollo, you don't want me to. Well, I do kind of like that cherry red one. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Also, did Gavin literally just leave us in his office? I feel like he's still in this room somewhere. Oh, that's too bad. Sorry, my little thief in making. Maybe next time. No, Apollo really isn't into the music. Did you mean magician or musician? Yeah, I was gonna say there is a difference between magician and musician, though he's not really into the magician thing either. Charred remains of what was once a fine guitar. Mr. Gavin got it as a present from Lamiror, and he had it shipped back from Borginia in a vacuum-sealed case. Kinda sad how it ended up. Not to mention there was an igniter placed just inside the sound hole. I wish I knew why. Lump! Dot 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 dot. Why the sudden silence, Trucy? Oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing, really. I was just wondering, wouldn't it be cool if that replica just happened to vanish? She's looking to steal it. Ah, the young magician at work again. Though a simple disappearance would kind of lack punch. What if it hatched into a dove, or perhaps a person dressed like a dove? There she goes again. He does support Trucy's performance endeavors, yes. I'm wondering exactly how much of it is because A, she's technically his boss, and B, they work for the same company and he kind of counts on her magic performances for a paycheck. There she goes. What floor are we on again? The view is incredible. Wow, the people look like little rice grains. Hey, that one with the blonde hair, do you think that's Mr. Gavin? So he did leave. Why the fuck did he leave us in his... I mean, I guess he's chill, but... I don't think Lost as Edgeworth would have left myself and Emma alone in his office. He's a little too small to see. But look at the one next to him with the big black poof of hair pointing straight ahead. Oh, yeah, that's Darian, all right. That's an insanely big speaker for a room this small. Oh, look. All the CDs are Gaviner's CDs. Big surprise. Oh, the monitors. Hey, wait. He left his TV on. Think we should turn it off for him? No! He said he's got all his evidence on there. Oh, wait. It's 3 different monitors, 3 different sets of evidence, 3 different cases. Apollo's head would catch fire if he tried to figure out which evidence for which case and which monitor to look at. Nah, wouldn't want to make him angry. Okay, if you say so. It's kind of a waste of electricity. You just want to play with his TV. I know you. Hee hee? How'd you know? It's just I've never seen a TV this big before. I hate to break it to you, but it's actually a monitor. It doesn't play TV shows. What? You mean no soap operas? No Saturday morning cartoons? And well, to be fair, Klavier seems to become inspired just by staring out his window. But yes, theoretically, to become inspired, you should experience other people's work. Nope, sorry. I had no idea. There, you'll get over it. And that seems to be all that I can do here. Probably. Dawning, should I break Klavier's stuff? No. Klavier I respect. I really do. Right, anything, agency? I figured this wasn't going to do anything, but... whatever. Still worth a... wait. This is new. So, this photo is of your father, Trucy? Someday I'll be as good a magician as Zach Grammarier. You'll see. No wonder she's so devoted to her art. You should have seen him on stage, Apollo. He made things disappear right and left. Poof, poof, poof. Until he even made himself disappear. Cool, huh? Yeah. Is that how it really happened? So that's her dad. Presumably that's a younger picture of her dad. Does that look enough like Shady Smith? Maybe. Maybe I could see it. But I think the face is wrong. To be fair, most of the time we saw him, that hat was pretty low over his eyes. Yeah, I don't think that sways things one way or another. Also, even if it was supposed to be Shady Smith... okay, I saw him unhatted, but like he was kind of dead. The detention center? Looks like Machi is in questioning. Huh. Police must have a Borginian interpreter. That's no fair. I wish we could talk to him. I guess we'll just have to come back later if we want to see him. I guess so. Well, guess I gotta go back to the Coliseum, huh? I'll do that after I take a quick break. I got something stuck in my throat. Gotta cough it out or something. I'll be right back. This ain't gonna be pretty. Alright, I'm back. Hiya, Snowy. Sorry about that. Have I mentioned recently how much I fucking hate this time of year? Because I hate this time of year. I got a glob of mucus stuck in my throat. But it's gone now, so we can get back to whatever the fuck it was I was doing. Dawning, Snowy, what the hell was I doing? I think I was going to the Sunshine Coliseum. It happens. Like, again, this time of year, just so much damn post-nasal drip. It's horrible. At least my throat doesn't hurt. Oh yeah, Apollo was flirting with Klavier, and Klavier left. That's fair, Snowy. I figured you might have some ideas for what I can do, because you're owed to wheel spins, just like Dawning is owed to Little Goblin Knows Best. Or, I suppose, one or two. You know what you're owed. I've made this clear already. Alright, Sunshine Coliseum. Hey, it's Little Goblin. Oh, it's you. You came at a good time. Hello there, Emma. What's up? Either of you know where Lemuror is? Well, I saw her in the backstage hallway a while ago. But I also know Prosecutor Gavin was asking for her so that she can potentially identify a plastic lump even though she can't see it. And yes, hi, Emma. Yeah, that's strange. What's strange? I can't find her anywhere. Oh, okay, this makes sense. You're the one who was supposed to get Lemuror. I don't know why I didn't. Well, okay, but no, she can absolutely know best from. It would not be the first time that a Little Goblin Knows Best was redeemed with a Little Goblin just in chat. I can't find her anywhere. I was supposed to bring her to the prosecutor's office, even though Gavin just left. Lemuror's missing? Oh, good. That sounds like it's delightful fun. You could make you make suggestions for her all the time, Snowy. It's always up to Dawning whether or not she takes you up on them. It's hard to imagine her wandering off somewhere on her own, especially since she's blind. Yeah. Yeah, we'll help you look for her. Great, thanks. Nothing else to examine here, I'd wager. Yeah, this fucking set piece. I don't understand why this set piece exists. Like the first time we come here, there's literally nothing. Second time we come here, okay, we meet Darian Crescent here. But that could have been in the Gaviner's dressing room. Now with the Emma Sky thing, that could have been in the backstage. Right? That could have been here. July 9th, backstage hallway. Alright, so upside down and no glasses. That makes sense. Snowy, are you going to want to redeem your wheel spins or no? Let's flip the script. Alright, hold until after. That makes perfect sense. If you were going to do anything that wasn't going to have the audio cue and the visual cue, I wanted to get that done before I took my glasses off. Because once the glasses are off, as y'all know, I can't see shit. My dear Yoko, I'm afraid I'm going to have you move a little bit further back so that I can get my laptop a bit closer. And here we go. Oh, God. This squiggle is squiggle. Okay, lean the screen forward. This place is deserted. Delicious. What kind of desserts do they have here? I mean, especially if this room is literally deserted. We could have just had the fucking interaction with Emma Sky here. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of us repeating, like 2 seconds after we found out Lemuror was missing, that Lemuror was missing? Also, it would have made sense for Emma to be in the location where we had last seen Lemuror if she was looking for Lemuror. Why does that set piece even exist? I wonder where Lemuror went off to. I'm sure she's okay on her own. She seems resourceful, but she's fucking blind, man. I'm not saying that blind people can't be resourceful, but it's also fairly easy to take advantage of most of them. She doesn't exactly seem like a very strong person, shall we? Like, physically strong. She could have been kidnapped, you know. I guess. But I can't help worry about her a little. See, Trucy is correct here. Apollo is an idiot. Anything new to examine? Can I even see the damn cursor to examine? Oop. Aha. That's Lemuror's dressing room. Sorry, I think that says a. Does that say Apollo or Trucy? That says Apollo. That's Lemuror's dressing room. And the scene of the crime. It's kind of lightly. Lightly guarded for being a crime scene. I'm not complaining. Makes it easier for us to go in. And Emma gave us her okay, right? We can wander in and do as we like. How is Emma doing anyway? We just saw her. I hope she's not getting cavities from eating all those chocolate. Ow, my neck hurts. Yeah, all those chocolate. Ow, my neck hurts. Snackoos, I'm guessing. That seems like it was reused. So why did it show up as being new? That did show up as being new, right? Like, it didn't have a check mark in front of it. I don't know. Maybe I just forgot to. I can't even tell where I'm. Governors? No. No. Nothing else worth doing that. A lot of places to go from here. God. Okay, this one's probably the stage, because that's just that darkly colored what's it's. That looks like outside. That's got a ladder, so that's Lamy Roar's dressing room. So this is probably the Governor's dressing room. Anybody I can find in here? Hello? Where is everybody? Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. Darian? Klavier? 3, 4, 5? Hello? No, can't find anybody. Alright. Try Lamir's dressing room. This is where the igniter was found, and I don't know why. Oh, hey, something new over here. A speaker for monitoring the stage. It was blaring at the time of the shooting. It's a pretty old model for such a nice place. I guess they don't care about sound quality back here. Yeah, sound quality back here, as long as you can hear it. Not that a loss of... I'm sorry, what? A loss of what? Because that doesn't say quality. It ends with Liddy, but what's the starting part? Somebody help. I can't read. No, you know what? I'm just going to... I know it's not correct, but I'm just going to say not that a loss of quality could possibly make that music worse. Probably threw in a synonym for quality somewhere, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. Good speakers must cost a lot. You have any idea how much a nice one that size would cost, Apollo? Probably a good net 10, not net. 10 years of your allowance, give or take. What? But that's almost I remember this is reused. That's almost $600. $5 a month. Poor Trucy. Wait till she finds out you need to buy 2 speakers for a stereo. Okay, that's reused. It's also probably been 5 minutes. Again, I can't see my fucking watch while I'm doing this. Bullet holes, I think. Look at the way those bullets tore through this thick wall. That revolver really was something else. I wonder if someone as little as me could even fire it. No, and that's the main argument that I've been making for why Machi couldn't. Dislocating your shoulder would kind of butt a crib? What? No, there's an extra letter in there. What? That's not crib. Kind of put a crimp on your stage career. Daddy always has stiff shoulders. Maybe that. Yeah, okay, I remember this was reused too, because I think I recall mentioning that Phoenix being fucking immortal and unable to be hurt, like again, 30 feet in the air, hits his head, sprains his ankle. That's it. Something that would normally dislocate a person's shoulder probably would fix his stiff shoulders. Don't even mention it. I'm afraid he might go out and actually try it. Yeah. Yeah, he probably would. Nah, he doesn't have the guts to pull the trigger, I bet. Alright, I'm putting my glasses back on. I'm pretty sure it's been 5 minutes, if not more. Yeah, that's the problem, Snowy. I swear there used to be a way that I could just flip the thing upside down, but the only way that I have to flip it is under properties for the capture card, and that flips it completely in both directions, so the words are flipped too. I swear there was a way that I could flip it just 180 degrees, like I do with my 2DS screens, but I have not been able to do that for quite some time. And the method that I use for the 2DS screens just doesn't work, right? Because the transform, rotate 180 degrees, or flip vertical are just not available. Like they're grayed out. I don't know why. I have no fucking clue why. Like I think I can flip just about everything else upside down. Right? This I can flip upside down easily. And it just flips the thing upside down. And I can just flip that right back up. And Snowy has redeemed his 2 wheel spins. So let's do that for some chaos. Now that I can actually read what the wheel's going to say. Tsundere Fermelli. Alright, that's 1. And we're going back upside down. And we get a 3rd wheel. Wait, where's the... My sound alert didn't work. Maybe because I was already spinning the wheel. God, I hope my sound alerts didn't go bonkers. Alright, no left hand upside down Tsundere Fermelli. Got it. Let me grab the brace, which I conveniently keep on the table behind me. There was no sound when you subbed either. Okay. Sound alerts are on. Let me see. I think it accidentally logged me out. But, like, the sub thing should have just been directly through. Alright, so it's still working. Maybe it was just that I was spinning the wheel when it happened. Who knows? But thank you for the subscription, Snowy.
I got official business. Goblin business. Please see table for business cards on your way out.
Yeah, okay, it's working fine. And Dawning can redeem that if she wants to, but I'm going to get started on those wheel spins. So, I got that horrible... Hey, don't you go dark on me. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remember to log in to the sound alerts every once in a while just to make sure that it doesn't log me out. I don't think that was the problem. I think that I was spinning the wheel or something while that happened, but who knows? Because I don't have to be logged into reactive for reactive to work just fine. And by the way, I should mention this was also the case yesterday during my stream. I'm back to normal. Don't expect this to stick around for too long, though. I'm debating whether I want to wait until Sirius is done with the specific project or show you and use the sketch that I currently have for that project as my new reactive, but it's good to be back. Though obviously it would feel much better if I happen to have Melly here with me, but such is life. All right, put the controller down because I can't use my left hand. And I've got to scroll. What's this? They found Machi Tobaye's fingerprints on that air vent. And while for most defense attorneys that would be a checkmate, Melly would be just absolutely all over it and would be able to say that that was framed and that there was no way that Machi was actually guilty, right? Melly is just a far, like everything that I could possibly do, Melly does much better with much less effort, much less much less fuss. Right? He's just the epitome of everything that I want to be. I'd have to climb on top of that ladder just to be on remotely the same level that Melly is on, and to maybe get an inkling of Senpai to notice me. Dot dot dot. What the heck are you saying about this, Melly? We don't even know who he is. What's with the long face? Well, it's a little lackluster, you know. Lackluster? Yeah, no, of course it's lackluster. Melly would have also seen through this lackluster evidence and would have known that it was just a fake. It would have seen through the prosecution's ruse, would have seen through the actual guilty party attempting to frame somebody. Apollo's just an idiot, which makes perfect sense, but all right, well, we'll see you soon, Snowy. But yeah, no, I agree with Trucy, and I agree I agree with myself that Melly would have noticed this immediately as a frame-up. Because Melly is just so much better at anything and everything than any of us mere mortals could possibly pretend to be. And I miss him so much. I wish that while I was in Japan, I'd thought to get myself a little Melly figure instead of Yoko. Or maybe in addition to Yoko. Like that way I could have Yoko here and Melly there, and well, with Melly here, my life would be complete. I wouldn't need Yoko. But Gurren Lagann is still one of my favorite animes. But yeah, no, I just without Melly, I suppose my life is incomplete, and I really am kicking myself in the butt for not getting any Melly merch while I was in Japan. That's on me. That's very, very, very much on me. I made a terrible mistake, and it wouldn't surprise me if Melly refuses to acknowledge me as a result of that mistake. I mean, using the air vent is so obvious. No audience is going to pay good money to see a trick like that. Oh, that's what she's referring to. Well, fair enough. She approaches everything like a magician. And in this case, she's not wrong at her conclusion. Her approach is just a little wrong, though, right? So Melly would have the correct approach and the correct conclusion. At least Trucy got the right conclusion, even if she went about getting to that conclusion in the wrong way. Apollo's just a dummy, like I said. Things must look different through a magician's eyes. Magician's eyes, technically that's M-E. Sort of. Huh, go figure. Anyway, things also look very differently through Melly's eyes, and he is, of course, that is, of course, ME as well. And I do have to admit, going back to this reactive is just so boring and does feel so wrong to not see that wonderful picture of me embracing Melly. Do I have that here? No. I had that instead. Well, that's fine. Yoko deserved to be kidnapped. She's not Melly. It'd be much cooler if the killer got out through that tiny window. Don't go there. You'll get your head stuck. All right. What's this way? Can I look under the couches yet? Can I look at the TV? No. Up. Got the speaker, the bullet holes. Is there anything new here? Oh, I saw something flash. Or at least I thought I saw something flash. The window! Well, we were just told not to go there, but what should we do except for go where we're not supposed to go? Because maybe if we do things the not so anticipated way, well, finally Melly will respect me. This was the window where Lamiror, quote-unquote, saw the crime from. Unfortunately, she's blind, so she didn't actually see anything. I wish it was that simple. Kinda hard to see a crime when you can't see. But she did hear it. Again, difference between an eyewitness and a witness. And again, I'd hate to be a nose or a mouth witness. I have smelled murder. And it stunk. But speaking of smelling, Melly smells absolutely divine and heavenly. But she did hear it. Yeah, but the window was closed. Maybe she heard it some other way. Not that one. Oop, whoop. Hold on. This one, the carpet. Hey, look, a part of the carpet has been torn up here. No shit, Sherlock, we know about this. Boy, he's so stupid it's no wonder Melly never notices him. That was the part we did the lunim. Okay, I think that is supposed to say lunamal, but I really can't tell because it's upside down and flipped. That was the part we did the lunamal testing on in court. Luminol. Luminol. Get the science goblin's favorite toy right. You know what I couldn't stop thinking? Who's going to pay for this carpet? As long as it's not, it's going to be us, isn't it? Of course it's going to be us. They're going to send us the fucking bill. Always. The poor defense attorney has to pay for everything. If I was as great of a defense attorney as Melly was, then I'd actually get paid by my clients and could afford this shit. But I don't get paid. So, I can't afford this shit. Melly saved me from debt. Maybe the shooter? I guess it's true what they say. Crime doesn't pay. I would hope that carpet replacement costs weren't the only thing holding you back. Yeah, no, it would be scary if the potential cost of replacing a carpet was the only thing preventing you from committing murder. The gun! The murder weapon. So it belonged to Mr. Lettuce. That thing makes normal revolvers look like water guns. Mr. Lettuce was a big man. But how about the person who shot him? Wouldn't they have to be about his size? Yes, again, that's reused, but it's still a damn good point. Alright, let's see. I think that's everything in here. And no mirror lady. So let's move. Backstage hallway. I've been to the governor's dressing room. I've been to Lemure's dressing room. Time to go to the stage. July 9th, 4:46 p.m. in the wings. Huh? The stage is pitch dark. The power breaker must be off for this section. Great. I'll go get someone. Oh god, Lemure's dead, isn't she? Yipes! It was really dark out there. So dark that we all wished that Melly was here to hold us because we're afraid of the dark. Alright, I'm pretty sure it's been 5 minutes. I really need to keep better track of this stuff, but nobody seems to complain, so I figure I'm going for at least 5 minutes with all of these. Off with you, you silly brace. I don't miss you at all. Ed. Horrible memories. Horrible. Glad my left hand is back to normal. Dark. That's all Lemure has when you think about it. What would it be like to live in a world of darkness? I am the terror that flaps in the night. Just so long as you're not the terror that craps in the night. Hey, Apollo? Huh? What? Doesn't something about the stage seem different to you? I don't know, I haven't really got... Oh, wait, the piano's gone. No, wait, it's there. To be fair, she was obscuring most of it. Also, I can't tell this is what I get for not streaming for a week. Like, something's changed. Changed? I can't put my finger on it, but it's bugging me. Now it's bugging me too. What's she talking about? The last time we saw this, someone was lifted up on a platform and dead. Actually, two people were lifted up on a platform and dead. Music? Look at all the electronics. They must be sound related. Doesn't seeing a bunch of machines like this make you just want to fiddle with it? Yeah, this is reused. Can I, Apollo, please? No, no fiddling. You'll break something. If you're going to make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs. That's what Daddy always says. These eggs look kind of expensive. And again, rock bands don't have fiddles except maybe the electric fiddle, which I have not looked up to see if it exists. Oh, hey, that's closed. I'm pretty sure that case was open. Hey, that case. Wasn't that open before? Huh, I guess someone closed it. Wait, look. Where the case closes. Something's sticking out. That doesn't look like an instrument. You don't think it's... Let's open it, Apollo. Oh, God. Eek! Let me roar! Let me roar! Emma! We have to get Emma! Oh, she's probably just napping, maybe. Maybe? She thought it was a bed because she's blind? No, that's pretty clearly not what happened. The mirror was taken directly to the hospital. Welcome back, Snowy. I got 2 wheel spins. Who's this? Who's your A? Is the first one. And the second one is... Tsundere Fermelli again? Like, this is a random wheel. Obviously, like you see, each of them has different, well, not each of them has, but, like, they have different weights, but, like, I swear to Arceus, it seems like some nights it's always just gonna land on, but whatever. Emma ran around here barking orders and making phone calls, eh? It just happens to be the case that if she was Melly, she'd have had everything under control at once, and she wouldn't have even lost Lemiror into first place there. In point of fact, like this whole great travesty would have been avoided if Melly was in charge of this here investigation. Everyone's life would just be so much better with a Melly around there, eh? Even up here in the cold north of Canada, we need Melly to cuddle with to keep ourselves warm because it's just so cold. And again, it is the greatest tragedy is that Dawning didn't even bother trying to get me to keep that avatar for yet another month after January there. It really does feel weird to be back to my normal self there, eh? Because my normal self is just all alone without the great and powerful Melly there. Alas, though, Melly has far better things to do than pay attention to a simple loser like me there, eh? And he's just busy and off saving the world while I dilly-dally and constantly get distracted by wheel spins and little goblins there, eh? But that's just how it goes. He's just so far above me that he doesn't even notice me as I struggle to catch up to him in his greatness and his glory. And if I could even be half the person that Melly is, I'd be content, dearie, because there's no way in heck that I'd ever be able to be as wonderful and great and powerful as Melly is. And Trucy there just clung to my arm and cried, dearie. And me, I was still in shock. 2 bodies in 2 days is too many, dearie. It's just, well, technically speaking, dear, it was 3. Because it was Lettuce's body, and then it was Machi's body, even though Machi was still alive, dearie. And now it's Lemiror's body, and, well, let me put it this way, if Dawning was saying last week that she's got beef with Lemiror for something Lemiror hasn't done yet, there, I'm guessing that Lemiror's not actually dead, dearie. But I'm not a scientific or a genius like Melly is, so I could be way off the mark there. Oh, hey, look! It seems like we're at the Hickfield Clinic there, in the waiting room. Again, I don't know why they changed this from the Hottie Clinic to the Hickfield Clinic there, but maybe we'll find Mr. Right here, or perhaps if we're lucky, we'll find Mimi Meanie. Except I don't need to have any Mimi Meanies in my life, because I should have Melly in my life, and even if Melly doesn't notice me, I certainly notice him there, and just having him in my life is a good enough thing. Emma dear, how is Lemiror? Is she okay, eh? Ah, you dear. We all owe you a big thanks, that's for sure, dear. So, she's okay, dear? Yes, she came to a short while ago, dear, eh? You found her before it was too late, eh? This here case just keeps getting more and more complicated, but hey, at least Lemiror is alive, even though I was pretty sure she was gonna survive this. Again, not a scientific old genius like that Melly character, but I am capable of occasionally putting 2 and 2 together and getting an answer that's in the remote ballpark that it's supposed to be there. That's good to hear there, So what happened, Someone attacked her there. She was struck on the forehead, By who? We don't know, It's not like she could see her attacker, and her attacker was probably pretty quiet because he knew she couldn't see him. But they hit her on the forehead, right? That's right, Trucy. You're forgetting that she's blind there, Melly would never forget that she was blind. But they hit her on the forehead, right? That's right in front of her, How could she not see? Oh. Now you're getting it, Trucy. Little slow on the uptake there. Right. Would you like to see her now, Is that alright, She wants to thank you for saving her life there, Oh, hey, look, it's Lemiror, This was very anticipated,
I got
Bank
official
that.
business. Goblin business.
Alright, so
Please
that's
see table for
technically
business cards on
2
your
that
way
are
out.
banked. We'll keep that in mind. I don't remember if you heard, but the reason Dawning was in chat and not voice chat is she does have a migraine. So I'm not sure. I mean, she generally actually hasn't been showing up on Wednesday streams anyway, but whenever she's around next, she's got 4 Little Goblin Knows Bests because she always comes in with 2. Lemiror! Ah, Mr. Attorney, you was the one who found me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm just glad you're okay. Tell me, what happened? Well, the thick plottings. Examine. God, this guy is still here. That must be a recovering patient. He keeps staring at us. What's so unusual about an attorney and a magician? What is so strange about an attorney and a magician? The magician, probably. Whatever this is. The door down the hall reads X-ray room. I never did like X-rays. I don't think I'd enjoy Well, no. On this one, Apollo and I abso-fucking-lutely agree. X-rays in particular give me the fucking heebie-jeebies. Like, last year, when my left arm was acting up, obviously I had to get a few of those so that they could make sure there was no structural damage to the bones or arthritis or any of that shit. And while I was in the room with the orthopedist, obviously he pulled up the images on his... It was all I could do to not just get up and bolt out of the goddamn examination room. Specifically, arm x-rays, specifically of my own arm, considering how my phobia probably started in the first place. Just, ugh. Luckily, I only saw them for like a little bit, because if I had to... Ugh. Let's not think about that. Spotting nervous habits is intense enough. Wheelchair Lady is new, and we don't get any commentary on her. The waiting area. Some visitors are here in the waiting room watching TV. Moida doing a concert at Sunshine Coliseum. Huh? Looks like we're on the news. With his current hit song Guilty Love, he's in the courtroom as prosecutor, singing the defendant all the way to death row. Hey, boy. Prosecutor Gavin. This, Prosecutor Gavin. That. Where's my 15 minutes? The Guitar Serenade, on sale now. Someone is jealous. Someone is very jealous. Hello, nurse. Where's Mimi Meanie? A nurse watches hawk-like from the reception desk. She glances at me whenever I talk. Maybe my voice carries. Or she knows you're associated with Phoenix Wright and assumes that there's gonna be trouble of some kind. Because in this clinic, they abso-fucking-lutely know Phoenix Wright. You know what? Just talk to her. It feels wrong to present stuff to her before we talk about attacked. Attacked! It was after I spoke to you in front of the dressing room. I sensed someone approaching. I thought it might be someone coming to see me, but they said nothing. When I went to return to my dressing room. You were hit? I knew, that very moment, I knew. The assailant was trying to kill me. No! It was lucky for me that the first blow did not knock me out. I turned and ran for the stage. Someone was chasing me. I could hear footsteps. I reached the stage first. Why the stage? And how the fuck did you get there? I had overheard maintenance people talking. The power to the stage area was off, they said. The electrical work. Ah! Darkness is my ally. There was a contrabass case near the stage. Again, how the fuck do you know this? What, echolocation? Because that fucking contrabass case was probably not there while you were performing on the stage, lady. Yeah, magic and bullshit sounds about right, KR. Also, hi there. That is where I hid. So the assailant couldn't see you. Once in the case, I'm afraid I passed out. Wow, that sounds like a really close call. I mean, magic does exist, I suppose. The assailant? Do you have any idea who it might have been? Unfortunately, no. Whoever it was, they said not a word. Yeah, it makes sense. Well, first of all, whoever it was able to strike her in the forehead in the first place while she was moving. So that likely rules out Machi Tobai. Well, first of all, he's also in the police station. So that in and of itself also rules him out. But whoever it was that attacked her was probably in the court or knew enough about the case today to know she was blind and to also know not to say a goddamn word in front of her so that she couldn't identify on based on the voice if she survived. Colonel Mustard in the stage. No, backstage. Backstage was where it took place. But it might have been Colonel Mustard backstage with the candlestick. Too bad. Yet when I consider that I was struck high on the forehead, I must conclude that whoever hit me was taller than I am. Good point. Yes, I made the same point. She's sharp. What we're saying, Snowy, is that Lemirror, the lady currently on screen, was attacked backstage, because we know that's where the attack happened, by Colonel Mustard with a candlestick. We're not currently backstage, we're currently at the Hickfield Clinic. Probably. And you're much taller than I am. You're about as tall as Apollo. So that means it was likely an adult, and probably a man. Could it be him? It could be Detective Crescent. But why would anyone attack you, Lemirror? The detective asked me this too. To her I gave the same answers that I gave you. I do not know. Alright. Present some stuff. Would you like a defense attorney? I'm sorry, I had not quite recovered from the attack. She looks like she's had a rough day. I'll just put this piece of evidence away for later. I wonder if I'm supposed to show her... Okay, I can guess that I'm supposed to show her the lump. The mysterious lump that we found in Prosecutor Gavin's office. And no, I don't mean Prosecutor Gavin. But I want to confirm that I can't present anything else because, well, I'm me. I mean, maybe I can ask her about the igniter and the trigger. I have to remember that she can't see, but like she should be able to like feel what these things are. That makes sense. All right, so I can't ask her about that. Wait, what? Diagram? Okay. That's the diagram of the dressing room. That's the cross-section of the... Okay. This was found in your dressing room. Someone was trying to light shit on fire back there. Borginian newspaper. Okay. The replica. Lemirror, I know you're tired, but I wanted to ask you about this. Do you know what this is? So, I have to conclude from this that Apollo did swipe the replica from Prosecutor Gavin's office. Because if he just had a picture of it, Lemire couldn't see it. She's blind. So he has to actually be giving her the replica, which means he did steal it from Gavin's office. Do you know what this is? This is what? Mr. Lettuce was carrying it. It's a replica of the thing he was after. His name was LeTouse, you obtuse jackass. But he was after, you know, in his secret identity, as an undercover agent. So that is what he was doing. You mean you know what? Yes, I know, of course. This must be a Borginian cocoon. Wait a minute. So the fucking Borg make cocoons now? I mean, I guess it was never properly explained why there were Borg babies and a nursery aboard the Cube in the first time we ever met the Borg in Star Trek The Next Generation. Maybe they were trying to figure out ways to reproduce without needing to assimilate more drones. So I guess if they came across an insectoid species, they might start using cocoons to create young. It's not impossible. Okay, they probably assimilate babies, KR, but that doesn't explain why a nursery would be on the Cube. They'd probably just take the babies to a planet and have them mature there instead of having them as liabilities on a cube or, you know, as a potential loss on the Cube. Well, okay, I guess they don't necessarily see the destruction of drones as a major loss, but hello, Dino Guts. But okay, what the fuck is a Borginian cocoon? Or rather a convincing replica thereof. Why haven't I heard of a Borginian? Because I think prior to this case, you may not have even heard of the fucking country of Borginia. Why haven't I heard of him? It's the stupidest question you could ask, Apollo. The question you should be... Well, okay, there's two questions you should be asking. Number one, how could Lemire identify it when it's basically just a small lump of plastic and she can't see it? I mean, maybe by the size and shape, maybe the texture, maybe. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. But the other question you should definitively be asking is, what is a Borginian cocoon? Not, why haven't I heard of it before? Have you ever been to Borginia before? No! Honestly, Apollo, always asking the wrong questions. This is why he needs other people to think for him. Why would he be carrying this around? Was it some kind of souvenir? I wonder. Alright. Will you tell me about a Borginian cocoon? Well, they call it Borginian. It must only be found in Borginia. For certain, all in Bulgaria know of these. Okay. It explains how you might know, but, like, it doesn't explain how you could identify it by just a lump of plastic. It's a cocoon. So, do you get silk from it? I do not know the details, I am sorry to say. I thought she said all in Bulgaria knew of these. She is one fact that I know about the cocoon, though. Something all in Bulgaria, though. What's that? The cocoons. They are not to be taken out of the country. If someone does and is caught, they will be put to death. To death? Why? I do not know. Yet if Interpol was involved, I'm sure there is a good reason. But this is just a piece of No, not for taking this piece of plastic out, Trucy. For taking the cocoon out. Is it drugs? Is the cocoon drugs? The cocoon is probably drugs. He was carrying a replica, but looking for the real deal. That's my best guess. So that's what he was up to. Tracking down Borginian cocoon smuggling. Smuggling. Well, that's the next thing for us to talk about. It seems I was marked. Marked? Life changed for me with the popularity of my songs. Yeah, the real cocoon was the drugs we found along... You know what? That probably is the case. The real cocoon was the drugs we found along the way. Don't do drugs, kids. I began to travel around the world. Ah, so you could have brought those Borginian cocoons with you. My trips, yes. That was probably the suspicion. And Mr. Lettuce was placed as an undercover agent to look into it. His name was LeTouse. Bulgaria is a small, sheltered country. Not many of our people venture into the world outside. Is that why they suspected you? But Mr. Lettuce wasn't a Borginian, was he? He was an Interpol agent, which means... What, Apollo? There must be some reason why Borginia doesn't want those cocoons getting out. Something scary enough to get Interpol involved. Drugs! It must be drugs! Huh? Like what? How could such a tiny ball of thread cause such a commotion? Cocoon smuggling. And Mr. Lettuce had Lemire marked. His name was LeTouse. You may have saved my life, but I will not stop correcting you on this, you idiot. It couldn't be her. Huh? There's only one other person I need to talk to. Thank you for talking to us, Lemire. Please get back to recovering. It was the least I could do. Actually, I have another request. If it is within my power, I need an interpreter, someone who speaks Borginian. Oh, good! We'll get more than fucking wingdings out of my client now. Apollo. Would you come with us if you're well enough? I see. Yes, of course. I shall accompany you. I mean, she counts as a Borginian. She knows the language. In point of fact, there were two things she was pretending prior to this performance that have kind of been thrown out the window. She was pretending to be Borginian and not speak English. And she was pretending that she could see, and that her pianist, Machi Tobaye, was blind. In reality, he could see, she couldn't. Huh? Where are we going? Come on, Trucy, we're about to get to the bottom of this. Getting to bottoms is what defense attorneys do best, and I haven't forgiven Phoenix because he had gotten to Dahlia's bottom, he had gotten to Iris's bottom, he could have ended up with either of their bottoms, and ended up with nothing. He's an idiot. I hate him so damn much. Bad Phoenix. July 9th, Detention Center Visitors Room. Machi, we came to talk to you about the case. Machi. Exclamation mark. Could you interpret for us, Lemiror? Yes. Machi, I'd like to talk to you about when we first met. When we still thought you were blind. Wing ding, 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 wing ding. I see the Palpatine unlimited power lightning bolts in there, along with a Kamehameha wave, and a Korok leaf, and a bunch of other stuff. Dot, 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 dot. Now we know the truth. You can see, right? I was completely fooled myself. Machi, isn't there another secret you're hiding from us? Dot, 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 exclamation mark. Wait, Mr. Attorney, what do you mean by secret? Dot, 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 dot. What do I mean by secret? Well, the fucking cocoon! If I'm not mistaken, and I quite often am, you know something about this, don't you? Hey, you got a reaction. A big one. Machi, you didn't. Frucy and I are trained to see people's uncertainty, and that fucking reaction even a blind person could see. As evidenced by Lemiror noticing. Yeah, see, not that we would have needed any training to see that one. Mr. Attorney, please tell me what this is all about. Lemiror, please interpret. Very well. I know you know something about this by your reaction. If you won't tell me, I might have to give it to the prosecution. And have them look into it. Exclamation mark. Wingding. I'm sorry. Strange bird. I don't know. Non-Korok leaf. Bug. Scissors. He asks you to wait. Do not be so hasty. Do not be so hasty, my simple-minded friend. But, Machi... Goat? Strange bird, alien, jellyfish, eyeball, bug, up arrow, strange bird, bug, up arrow. Do you know everything? Yes, everything. Well, sort of. Have him tell us about it. Scissor, unlimited power! Alien, Korok leaf, strange bird. Weird musical note. Ka-me-ha-me. You can't tell me, by the way, that that guy doesn't look like someone doing the Kamehameha. Bug. Very well. All right. Probably nothing worth presenting, and it'll probably just give me generic shit if I do, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Dot 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 dot. Machi, he is upset he could not speak with you. Well, let's hear him out before he gets grumpy, Apollo. Presenting the Whatcha-Who's-Its probably doesn't do anything again. Yeah. So let's talk the cocoon. What is this cocoon anyway? Goat, strange bird, weird upside down trident with tridents attached to it. Non-Korok leaf, scissor, strange burn. The cocoon, the silk is a potent cure. It is drugs! I fucking knew it. It's drugs! Cure? It must cure some disease. Eyeball, jellyfish, non-Korok leaf, up arrow. I don't know, man. Korok leaf, goat, bug, ka, may, ha, Korok leaf, up arrow? Dot, 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 dot. It is a cure for... Incuritis. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, that's just... Boy, that's very on the nose. It's like a fucking thing called unobtainium that's very difficult to obtain. Incuritis. It's not the pun master getting out punned, no. That is not a pun, that's too damn on the nose. Ugh. I just... Fucking hell. Hey, I just realized something, or remembered something, from a couple weeks ago when LG was here. Is it the Chief Justice? Well, it's like the judge's boss's kid is sick because the judge wanted the court to wanted the trial to go quickly so that he could go visit the kid in the hospital. Had a terminal disease, I believe we were told. It's this incuritis, isn't it? Because I fucking knew that non sequitur would become incredibly important because of how in your face it was, for no apparent reason. Which is why it stuck with me, because it was so damn weird. Okay. I have some thoughts. My head is on fire! But I actually have some thoughts. So Chief Justice's or Chief Judge's kid has incuritis. I think that's probably the most substantiated thing that I could... Because again, just right at the beginning of trial, they hit you with that. And there's no fucking good reason to do it unless, like Chekhov's gun, it becomes important later. So it's becoming important later. And if this cocoon... Well, okay, presumably incuritis, if I had to guess based on the name, has very little to no cures other than possibly this cocoon, because it's called incuritis. I would kind of laugh if it was very easy to cure with a name like incur, but like they're obviously trying to tell us that it's not curable outside of this cocoon. So Klavier wasn't in on it, but that doesn't mean that someone in The police, I can believe it was Darian now. I still haven't quite figured out how. I'm still positing that the crime had to have taken place at some point other than the third set when Darian was clearly on stage. Because I know that Emma and I heard well, we thought they were gunshots. Hang on, I'm thinking again, and it's really... Identical igniters in Gavin's guitar and at the crime scene, triggered by a remote trigger. What was the one doing at the crime scene? What could you possibly have needed to light on fire? The crime was the murder of Romaine LeTouse. He died, so this guy is dead. He was an Interpol agent, though we found that out relatively recently. The smudged blood stain by his right hand was him identifying himself by giving us his Interpol ID number. The autopsy report, 9 to 9:30. So again, the whole reason why I'm assuming, yeah, he was writing Reptar backward. No, he was writing his Interpol number. Every single time in the past, when an autopsy report was somewhat vague about timing of death, it's because the crime must have taken place earlier than we thought. I saw this in Rise from the Ashes. There was at least one other case that I saw this in. So he was probably... I mean, the other thing being, right, he eventually died due to loss of blood. He didn't actually die from the gunshot wound. He might have hung around for a while. But obviously, after being shot the way he was shot with that... not like he could really cry out for help. But again, the complicating factor here is that Emma and I heard the gunshots during the third set. It sounds like gunshots. A car backfiring. Fireworks! Fireworks sound like gunshots. Or at least potentially can. That's what the igniter was doing in their room. At the scene of the crime. It was lighting fireworks. And those... No. I'm going too far this time. But what else would the igniter be doing there? Anyway, the bottom line, what I'm trying to get at is, I think Darian did it. And I think he did it to get a hold of this cocoon because the Chief Justice's kid is sick. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, the dots I'm connecting here, it's not necessarily a straight path. But I think the logical inferences that I'm making make some sense. Because again, Justice's kid, terminal disease. Know that from very beginning of the trial when the judge was looking to end the trial early, go visit Chief Justice's kid in hospital. Also know that there was an igniter found at the scene of the crime. Also know the autopsy report is pretty vague on the time of death. Right? Those are three facts, and now we also know that this cocoon is a cure for what would seem to be an otherwise incurable disease. So those are four facts that are indisputable. And the connecting line that I'm making between them is Darian has a motive to smuggle in the cocoon. Because Chief Justice's kid is sick with presumably incuritis. Technically, I don't know that that's what the judge, but like, let's fucking face it, the Chief Justice's kid has incuritis. I bet my Yoko figurine on it. And he would know that Klavier had connections to Borginia, and that Klavier had worked with Lemureur on the guitar's Serenade, and was potentially having them at this concert. So he would also have access to Lemureur and Machi Tobaye, and no one would consider that unusual. But again, the complicating factor comes in, well, how the fuck did he did it? Did he do it when allegedly when the crime took place, he's got 10,000 witnesses, what say he was on stage? Right? Because he was. I have no doubt that at the alleged time of the crime, he was up on stage. Because he timed it that way. And this is where the complication gets in. And again, this is where the vague time of death and the igniter in the room come into play. Because I think he was shot much sooner. Because again, during the second part of the performance, the only people on stage were Machi, Lemureur, and Klavier. That means both Romaine LeTouse and Darian were not on stage and have no, like, Darian does not have an alibi for that. Then again, 3, 4, and 5 were also not on stage, but according to Dawning, we never actually find out or see 3, 4, and 5. I still maintain that they're Juan Tequila's siblings, except for 2. And that somehow they ended up in the police force. But okay, that's my current spaghetti against the wall. Cure for incuritis? Replica updated in the court record. Replica of a cocoon from which a remedy for incuritis may be extracted. But if it's a cure, why keep it in Borginia like that? Just think of all the lives they could... Well, first of all, how common of a disease is this incuritis? Just think of all the lives they could save by sharing the medicine. I do not understand the reasons myself. Okay, well, at least we know what it is. It's drugs. Or a cure. And Mr. Lettuce was after the cocoon smugglers. His name was LeTouse. Wait. Was Machi? Machi, you weren't. He couldn't be a smuggler. He's so little. Well, you're only 15 and you're sort of a magician, aren't you? Well, that's true. I am sort of a magician. She said sort of. Oh, to have a copy of that security tape. Well, Machi, are you the smuggler? Non-Korok leaf, alien jellyfish eyeball, scissor, weird bird, non-Korok leaf, upside down trident with two right side up tridents sticking out of it. Goat? Question mark? I don't give a fuck, man. Scissor, Korok leaf, upside down trident with two tridents sticking out of it, an alien jellyfish eyeball, weird musical note, bow down, weird alien, weird bird, question mark, musical note, bug up arrow? He won't tell me. Hey, first he plays blind, now he plays dumb. I wonder, do you think he brought a cocoon here to sell it to someone? If Machi really did bring one into the country, was he planning on making a deal for its sale? Up arrow, non-Korok leaf, weird bird, scissor, Korok leaf, non-Korok leaf, upside down trident with two right side up tridents sticking out of it. I can't go home. Can't go home? Korok leaf, musical note, ka, me, ha, scissor, non-Korok leaf, trident again, scissor, unlimited power, alien, Korok leaf, non-Korok leaf, goat, I don't know, man, Korok leaf, scissor, non-Korok leaf, trident. I can't go home to Bulgaria. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Bulgaria is death. That's right, it's punishable by death. Korok leaf, non-Korok leaf, trident, musical note. About the case. What about the case? He wants to tell us about Mr. Lettuce's death? His name was LeTouse. Goat question. Oh no, you don't. I'm gonna get those wingdings if it's the last thing you do. Goat, I don't know, man. Scissor, unlimited power. Korok leaf, scissor, Korok. Oh, I missed an apostrophe in there. Korok leaf, apostrophe, scissor, Korok leaf, non-Korok leaf. This meeting is over. Darian? Hey, you're not working this case. You're a suspect. What do you mean? Visiting hours aren't over yet. There's a call for a Machi from the Borginian embassy. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait. Yeah, he's totally fucking guilty. I never liked you. Either of you. Huh? Well, that's just rude, man. Okay, yeah, I just said he was fucking guilty, but he couldn't hear me. Also, you barely know us. Darn it, you were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. He didn't want to hear. He want us to hear what Machi had to say. Apollo! And there can only be one reason why. Why is everyone ignoring me? Don't ignore little goblins. Little goblins will get very violent if you ignore us. Oh, sorry. This is it. I know who I'm after now. It all happens tomorrow in court. To be continued. Huh. Well, let's save our current progress. Sure. Fun. And now we're at day 2, trial day 2. Let's keep going. July 10th, 9:49 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, No. 2. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy, we're leaving. Darian, again, it's like we didn't just see this 5 seconds ago. On the other hand, if you're someone like me who streams this like once a week, maybe having a recap isn't terrible. Darian, wait! I never liked you, either of you. Huh? That literally came out of left field. Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. Yeah. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice with a capital J. Bang! Eek! What was that? He is heard but unseen. Who's that talking? Oh, it is I. Val Grammarier! Exclaimed as he walked through the door, normally. It really is a recurring gag with him. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valent? A preposterous proposition. How could I stand upon this stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the blocking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Oh, with vanishing magic? Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. That is magic. But before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? A grand glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Okay, part of me has to ask what the fuck the point of him in this case is. I mean, I guess okay, as an actual contributor to the fucking case, he doesn't do much, but he brings a lot to the story, introducing Trucy's background as a magician, and most importantly, her biological father. Not that he's her biological father, no, he was a biological father's partner, magician partner. That we all went over this last week, if you care enough about that. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. Alright, wheel spin. What do we got this time? Oh, hey. I was tsundere for Melly enough. Now the wheel says tsundere for Edgeworth, which is more appropriate for this particular series because, holy holy fuck, like, we went all the way to the prosecutor's office, and there was no sign of Edgeworth at all. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you for real? Where is he? Why did he just disappear? Instead, we're stuck with this literal Gary Stew of a prosecutor, Klavier, who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, who guesses his way and feels his way. It's all bullshit. He intuited everything that, like, again, it's like I said, took Edgeworth 2 games and solid character development to come to the conclusion that Klavier just intuited on his own almost instantly. What bullshit! Edgeworth's the best prosecutor, and this guy thinks he can upstage him. Literally, because he's a rock star. Like, no, I miss Edgeworth. There's no reason to not have him around now, except I guess he is too busy being an international prosecutor, whereas this little pissant, at least for now, well, okay, he even mentioned he does go international with his prosecution, so fuck. He's trying to out Edgeworth, but Edgeworth does it better, because he does it, like, he always does it better. He's Edgeworth. The best prosecutor, king of prosecutors, king of my heart. Everything about him is the best. And how dare they write him out of their games? He was the best character. I mean, he's the only fucking non-defense attorney character to get a spin-off game. Which are probably, actually got 2 spin-off games. And they are probably the best games in the series because they feature the best character. And playing as Edgeworth for just 1 day in Bridge to a Turnabout felt so right that of course I'd want to do that again. I don't just want to be in a game with Edgeworth as a side character. He needs to be the main character. He needs to be the person that I can admire. And admire, and admire, and admire. But never actually say anything because I'm too scared. He's just that imposing of a personality, too. So yeah, no Franziska von Karmas, no Godos, no Manfred von Karmas. Certainly no Klavier Gavids, and do we even need to mention why Winston Payne isn't worth anybody's time? No. Edgeworth is #1 prosecutor, will always be #1 prosecutor in these games and in my heart. Because he is the best. And I wish him nothing but the best, whatever he may be doing. I just want him to come back. He's got to. Phoenix needs saving, and there's only one person who can do it, and it's not Iris. And it's not Mimi Meanie, and it's sure as fuck not Dahlia Hawthorne. No, it's Edgeworth. Edgeworth's gonna come back and save Phoenix like Phoenix saved him. Because that's just what Edgeworth does. He's a very respectable guy. And he'll pay back his debts to Phoenix. No matter what. God, I wish I was Phoenix again just for that. But it really is weird how he's just nowhere to be found in this game. Like, him and Gumshoe both completely disappeared. And, well, Gumshoe's a bro, and I like him. Emma is great, and it's good to see her character come back and be a recurring character from Rise from the Ashes. But, like, it makes no sense that Edgeworth is gone. It doesn't. And it's very sad. And I'm very sad. Because Edgeworth will never know how I feel about him because he isn't even in the games anymore. Most upsetting. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like people or elephants, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really. She was talking about what we saw at the concert. Lemuro's disappearing act, and Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that has happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It really is. And here they're hitting us over the head again with the Chief Justice's kid being sick. That's what I bet's going on here.
It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business.
Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. No. He's either visiting the Chief Justice's kid now, or he was up late last night visiting the Chief Justice's kid.
Apparently,
okay, yeah, here we go.
Apparently he's visiting the hospital again.
The hospital? Yes, I remember this.
I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell.
And again, putting this right after we heard about incuritis and the cocoon is a cure. Yeah, no, they're really, really fucking hitting you over the head with this. So I don't consider myself smart for figuring this out. They wanted you to figure this out.
I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning.
The Chief Justice's son? Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning the judge said he had to go visit him after the trial?
There's an article about it in the newspaper.
Incuritis syndrome, first case in country. God, I fucking hope it's not contagious.
If you care to read about it yourself.
Hey, I can actually read this newspaper. Article about the Chief Justice's son who is inflicted with incuritis. Incuritis? I know exactly where I've heard about this before. Incuritis syndrome, first in the case in the country. Disease strikes closer to home than ever before. There's some kind of graph down there with a red line and a blue line, and God knows what that's supposed to mean. I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. Alright, so July 10, 10:30 courtroom, but before I do that, let's actually take a look at this. Okay, it's exactly as we saw. Just wanted to make sure. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of how do you say this name again? Machito Bae, a suspect fortissimo. Right, it's his trial in any case. The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. ... Is something wrong, Your Honor? No, well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Incuritis, was it? That article said there is no known cure. Bullshit! We just heard about one. Hey, Judge, let me say it's all honesty. I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. We left off at
Quite the juncture yesterday. I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romaine LeTouse. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Vite. Fate, that voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it. It was him? That voice I heard talking to Mr. LeTouse when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darien. No way! Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darien would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darien Crescent is a member of my band, the Governors. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Herr Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, a guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamiro, and Machi, along with a drummer and the bassist for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the 3rd set, or at least we are supposed to believe that. Lamiro and the defendant, Machi Tobaye, had left the stage at that point, and the Governors were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Amos Sky, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lamiro herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. Then she claims to have heard Mr. LeTouse and Detective Crescent talking. But that's impossible. Detective Crescent was... Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila! A perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darien Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged. Which means that Lamiro was sadly mistaken. The testimony cannot be true. Very well, of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections. Uh-oh, Apollo. If he declares a verdict now, Tack, the prosecutor Gavin's case is... No, it's not. Okay, yeah, we assume that the gunshot took place... Well... Okay, I can see how Apollo would say that it's airtight. It's only his 3rd case in the Ace Attorney universe, after all. The mirror might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? Korok leaf, non-Korok leaf, trident, musical note. About the case. Not about the case. He wants to tell us about Mr. Lettuce's death. LeTouse. LeTouse. This meeting's over.
Darien? Machi was trying to tell us something. I know. Well, of fucking course you know it. Because he said so. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant, or what was his name again? Objection, Your Honor. No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquis or Mr. Justice? Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tobaye to the stand. Well, what? He doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. We only speak a few phrases such as I love you, and there's the toilet. You know, again, if you have to learn something in a foreign language, learning how to say where's the toilet is probably an important one to learn. Then you have to understand what the answer is. Because asking the question is one thing, but it's useless if you don't understand the answer. The defense would like to request Lamiror as the interpreter. Lamiror? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie? Because she wants to, like... No, I get the judge's concern here. We need an independent third-party interpreter. Also, Klavier, you seem to speak the language well enough to be able to converse with a couple of people, and I feel like you did. I mean, you wrote an entire song with Lamiror when she was still presumably keeping up her act that she didn't speak English. I don't know, man. Either way, I'm with the judge. This is most unusual. Bravo, her forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamiror lies, I'll be able to tell. My limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Okay, you know what? I'll buy it. Sort of. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamiror to the witness stand. First time we've had two people there. I suppose he is a first... Yeah, okay. Klavier acknowledges this. I suppose he is the first time for everything. Shall we proceed? The name to begin with, if you would, Lamiror. Yes. He says Machi Tobaye, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Huh? Oh, if I would what, Your Honor? Would what? You called the fucking defendant to the stand, did you not? Did you have a plan, or were you just bluffing again? What would you have him testify about? What do I want him to testify about? I hadn't thought that far yet. Apollo, you're an idiot! Aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me a moment, if I might speak. Yes, Lamiror. Just now Machi said he has something about which he wishes to testify. Machi wants to testify about something? What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. Arg, the suspense is killing me. Oh good, a third murder. What? What? Well, Lamiror? According to Machi,
He has proof of his innocence. What? I have proof of his innocence too. He's literally too short to shoot that gun. This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it! This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. I mean Machi. Please testify to the court. Wingding testimony! Very well. God, I hope they don't have us go through that they're talking to each other animation every time and just have the translated version up. Proof of innocence. It says that word of Mr. LeTouse's death. That word of Mr. LeTouse's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, I, that is he, could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. That's true! That's actually very true. I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely. I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, you would only have to ask Lemiro to know the meaning of that song. Lemiro, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? You might be protecting the witness. ... Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would. Yes, Your Honor. This is going to be weird. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday, it'll work today. One of these days, his bracelet's just not going to work. Alright. Press all the buttons. Were Machi and Mr. Lettuce close? See if we're close enough that he pronounces the name correctly as LeTouse, not Lettuce, you fool! Yes, after we traveled around the world on our tour together. Objection! Lemiro, this is Machi's cross-examination, not yours. But I knew the answer. This is a court of law. You'll play by the book. I understand. When Prosecutor Gavin's tough, he's really tough, but he's not wrong. Do I take game requests? Not usually, but you could always suggest. I mean, strictly speaking, I think Ace Attorney was a suggestion. Ghost Trick was a suggestion. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog was a suggestion. So I sort of do. Sometimes. What, dare I ask what game you have in mind? And does it have a cute redhead girl in it? That usually helps. She says he was very good friends with Mr. LeTouse. Mr. LeTouse was always a gentleman, never angry. He got along quite well. The sequel has a redhead, so it doesn't have to, like, it doesn't have to be in the first game. If I'm going to be playing the first game, I might also play the sequel. Ever dreamed something like this would happen? Press.
The Guitar Serenade, correct? Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. The theft of the keyrings, the burning guitar, and the bullet. That is why it could not have been me. Press. By could not have done it, you mean... Makes Discord sounds. Oh boy, Discord sounds. Oh yeah. You know, it doesn't surprise me that you'd recommend that one. I'll give it a definitive maybe. I'll give that a definitive maybe. I already have my next stream after, my next series after Blaze Black planned out. And no, it's not a Pokemon fan game, it's another Nintendo game. But the problem is, like, there's so many things that I want to stream and so little time. It is very simple. She could not have done all the things that happened that day. All those things followed the song lyrics closely. Press button. Also, is he actually... Am I supposed to be looking at him, or am I supposed to be looking at her? Because his pose isn't changing at all. Alright, press. Wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics? He did know what the song was about, its mood, shall we say. That was enough to play by. I told him it was a song about a guitar and love. It is not actually the guitar that is in love, strictly speaking. Oh, perhaps I misunderstood. Ah, no, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation. Okay. No, it is my fault. I am too used to singing in Bohemian. It is much easier than trying to understand these English lyrics. Yay, I knew he was innocent. I believe he is too, Trucy, I do. What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something? Something's hidden in that testimony. If it's the truth, I'll find it. Again, his expression is not changing, so I have to assume it's the mirror I'm supposed to be looking at. And she's the same pose in all but the first. So I'm guessing here's where I have to X to proceed. Okay, here again. He's not moving. Okay. I'm sure it's this one. Where's her hands? Am I might be wrong. the first time. Alright. Then maybe the last statement. Yeah, it's Machi's probably not going to do anything. Her hands are where? Not here. There's gotta be something I'm missing. There absolutely has to be something I'm missing. Again, I would have thought it was this statement specifically because she's got the different pose, but... Ignore Machi. It can't... Like, I don't think it's him. There's gotta be something I'm missing. Like, I'd wager it should be here. But her hands are staying perfectly still. Right, they're not moving. And honestly, again, I don't know if it's her or if it's Machi I'm supposed to be looking at. Machi doesn't seem to be doing shit, so... Like, he's just kind of staring. And I don't see his hands anywhere. So it's gotta be La Mirror that I have to be looking at. think this is the only statement that I haven't tried to perceive on yet. What am I looking for? Dawning isn't here to help me. But this, whatever this is, it's tough. I'm trying to figure. So, oh, you are here. You are here. So, just so you know, you have two banked little goblin nose basts. But what I'm actually trying to help why I mentioned you is I have no idea what I'm supposed to perceive here. First of all, I don't know if I'm supposed to be staring at Machi or at Lemiror. Machi seems to be doing absolutely nothing. But even Lemiror doesn't seem to be doing anything during any of the perceives. I have seen nothing while perceiving. I mean, if you could confirm which one I'm supposed to look at, it would be probably helpful. Because as it stands, I'm... Okay, so it's gotta be Machi then. Or Dawning says Machi, so... But he's literally done nothing. And I can't see his hands. The rest of him doesn't move. So, his face or maybe his mouth? Alright, we'll try extra perceive here too. It doesn't give me a penalty for not perceiving correctly. Well, as long as I don't make accusations. So let's try the last statement again. Oh! Oh! I think I saw something. That is subtle as fuck! That is subtle as fuck! How the hell? Oh, good. There are worse tells to look for. I mean, I think part of the problem with this one is that there's two people to look at, and it's not inherently clear. I mean, I guess it's sort of clear since Machi's the one being cross-examined, but it's still not inherently clear that it's his tell we're looking for. Anyway, Machi, you can't fool my eyes. Exclamation mark. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamureur said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Exclamation mark. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? But what are you saying? Of course he can't. Scissor, non-Korok leaf, I don't know. Trident, question mark, music note, Kamehameha, weird bird, jellyfish, alien eyeball thing, Korok leaf, beg, non-Korok leaf, musical note, light bulb. Musical note, goat, non-Korok leaf, bug, scissor, up, arrow, light bulb, alien, Korok leaf, non-Korok leaf, weird bird, Kamehameha, beg for forgiveness. Must he continue this charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learns the name for this language, that is all. What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Oh, right, the Borginian newspaper. I wondered why I had a newspaper that I couldn't read in my court record. Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple, so simple it hardly requires an explanation. You read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper must have been the English one, because it wasn't the Borginian one. The Borginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. Like I said, I looked at my Daily Bugle Lego tower behind me earlier today. It doesn't look very Borginian to me. Just a lot of Spider-Men. They have already begun to report about the case about this case in our homeland. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof he's lying. Newspaper! That I can't read. So not this one. Borginian newspaper. Present. I have here a Borginian newspaper. The Borginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Exclamation mark. Indeed, there is a feature article about the case. Yeah, J. Jonah J. I think he's also in this set. I'm pretty sure, though, he'll be a little bit more concerned about the Spider Pig than the multiple Spider-Men, but sure. Indeed, there is a feature article about this case. Could you read this for me, Machi? Exclamation mark. That's right, it doesn't mention the lyrics. Thanks again, Klavier. What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Borginian newspaper. Well, unless there are multiple Borginian newspapers, but you specifically mentioned the Borginian Daily Bugle, so bye-bye a go-go. Exclamation mark. Dot, 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 dot. Oh boy, and that was probably a massive expletive that he just let out. What does this mean? But I don't see how it's possible. Ah, I know. You must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes, Bugmite! I am finally back to using this. Though, potentially not for long. That depends a little bit on Sirius. But yeah, no, it's February. Honestly, I should have gone back to this at the beginning of January, but, Dawning, why didn't I go back to this at the beginning of January? I don't remember. Must have heard about the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes. That is not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in the police questioning. I read the full report myself. So, the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. Oh yeah, I wanted to wait for... Well, if that's the case, why am I back to normal now? Sirius is, an artist... So, you see the banner that I have, right? The, Me Streams banner below the, at the bottom of my screen. Or at the bottom of the screen. That was done by Sirius. Sirius is an artist that occasionally does some artwork for me. And I've got Sirius working on a, well, for lack of a better term, pretty serious project for me. Part of which is going to be something that I will use as my new reactive. Let's see if I can... Yeah, it's gonna be, because my personal Twitch channel and YouTube channel are missing banners right now, so that's really what it's going to be. Let me see if I can pull... I don't even remember where I saved this. Do. So it's a bit... Oh, not that. It's a bit early. Because this is basically just a sketch, but... This is essentially going to be what I'm going to use as my reactive once it's done. That's a lot of nice references to a lot of my streams on this particular channel, right? You've got Ace Attorney in there, you've got my Legend of Zelda stuff in there, you've got Ghost Trick in there, and then you've got little goblins all over the place, because little goblins are always all over the place. So ultimately what I'm actually waiting for reactive is this. Just completed. And then there is going to be significantly more for the actual banner itself. But that looks pretty good, no? I like that a heck of a lot. Anyway, so the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. Exclamation mark. The witness will explain herself, or himself, or I'm confused. He says, yes? It is true I read the newspaper. This is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
You remember? He says he heard of the lyrics from me. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, shit! Sorry, I had a sneeze. What? Is this true, Lemiror? Yes, I am afraid I had forgotten it myself. No. No. Then it looks like her forehead's been jumping to conclusions again. It seems so, yes. No. No. I was onto something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination? What are you going to do, Apollo? If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else... Exclamation mark. My bracelet's still reacting? Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well. Witness? I understand. Well... Press the button. Exactly how much did you explain to Machi? This is a question for me, yes? This interpretation thing is getting old fast. I told him that Mr. LeTouse had been killed and why he was a suspect. And I told him the crimes of that day followed my song. Did you mention any particular words of the song relating to the case, such as heart? Yes, of course I explained this. He was quite surprised. Yay, I knew he was... Uh-huh, we're back here again. So, alright, gotta perceive on that last statement. Alright, Machi. What are you gonna do this time, buddy? Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. That's the first statement again. I forgot it goes right back to the start. Here we go. What do you want to bet I've got to look at Lemiror this time? Because she's technically the one making the statement. Yeah, no. Apollo Justice is the guy that I am playing as instead of Phoenix Wright. And he gets all googly-eyed or bug-eyed in the courtroom because... she swallowed again. So it was her that I had to... Lemiror, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain? That me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court it was I who explained. I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lemiror, are you indeed protecting someone? That is not the question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself. Yeah, gotcha's a new one in here. Look. This game is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, just look at this fucking trippy purple and red background, Bugmite. This whole game is bullshit. I mean, granted, Ace Attorney in general is bullshit. But this game, It's like I said, even Phoenix knew to keep his Magatama out of the courtroom. This is basically Apollo's equivalent of the Magatama. Then allow me to answer for you. Lemuror, you're protecting. Gee, who the fuck would she be protecting? I mean, this is the obvious one. Sometimes the obvious one is not correct, but in this case, the obvious one is correct. Lemuror, you are protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Exclamation mark. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you lied to us twice, and now you have Lemuror lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Exclamation mark. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. Exclamation mark. Ugh. Well. Witness, is this true? Do you understand English? Yes, a little only. What? First he could see, now he can talk. And you did not know about this Lemuror.
No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
This is last.
Machi, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting. I did no shooting.
So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those two gunshots, correct?
Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either. I was in dressing room, behind desk. Manager, he on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there is voice.
Voice? Or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo?
So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Lettuce had already been shot. When we came to the door, panel high up, I take off, run away.
So it was you who escaped through that air vent. So Machi stumbled across the dead body. And then panicked when he heard Apollo and Emma showing up. Interesting.
As the prosecution has upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
Objection! He specifically said he didn't do shooting. He's clearly denied that he did it.
I no shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. Objection. The victim has already been shot, you say. I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean Van Singh. He is the shooter.
No! That gun is too big. He'd be dead if he tried to shoot it. Also, the size difference between Machi and Romaine LeTouse. The bullet hole, let's say that Machi was the shooter and somehow managed to not dislocate his shoulder from firing this gun. The angle of the bullet hole in Mr. LeTouse would show that the shot came from below him. It doesn't do that.
Exclamation mark.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo. Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness? Absolutely! Wait, no, of course there is. What is this cocoon anyway? Wingdings. Potent cure for incuritis. Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me. That cocoon has to have something to do with it. Yes, of course it does. Machi, please tell us the truth for your own sake. No, no more speak, not to any of you. So much for your precious trust here, forehead. Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. It does seem that the defense and the defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed. Huh.
This has never actually been a problem before, though. There have been times when the defense and the defendant have been at an impasse, and the trial basically fucking carried on no matter... Like, I'm pretty fucking sure Lana Skye fired my ass in Rise from the Ashes, and yet I continued to stick around as the defense attorney without needing a recess to sort things out, as it were. Dawning, am I remembering that correctly? Oh, it probably happens all the time. You're right, Bug Mike. But anyway, July 10th, 11:23 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, no twos. Apollo Eustace. That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some. Believe. I know shooting. Machi claims Mr. Lettuce was already down on the ground when he entered the room. Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it. Suddenly I hear a revolver. Close. Very close. Then I hear a voice. You heard gunshots. Yes, it's true. I hear a revolver, but only sound. Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Lettuce already dead, and then you heard shots? That's true. The gunshots weren't real. I was right. His name is Romaine Lettuce, Bug Mite. That is actually his name. Oh, it doesn't actually say what it is, but trust me when I say his name is Romaine Lettuce. It's supposed to be pronounced lettuce because his first name is Romaine, but I've been, just because it's funny, I've been having him... Yeah. Anyway, if that's true, so you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots? And you escaped through the air vent. I know. Huh? What do you know? I know if I open the vent, I can leave stage and backstage. So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means? Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo. Huh? Oh, yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that? Wait, I bet his father was the architect who designed the hall or something. I hear these from magician. Ah, the magic man. Magician. Dude, don't look at me. A magician, huh? Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Lettuce.
His name is LeTouse. Yeah, but what does that leave us with? A fucking mess! We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then heard the shots? That one's going to go over well in court. Not. Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me. That's not what he did when he was in court, though. I'll just pretend you misheard him every time. So what do we do? You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking. No. Well, it was worth a shot. That cocoon. I remember that Trucy is a tiny goblin. I can't go home. Can't go home? More wingdings. Look, this whole thing is complicated. It's an Ace Attorney case. Of course it's complicated. Can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death. That's right, it's punishable by death. Of course. Or wheel spins. That makes perfect sense to me. Jesus Christ, it's landing on Tsundere for... Like, that's 4 times it's landed on a Tsundere. 2 for Melee, 2 for Edgeworth. But yeah, no, of course Machi is scared. He's got an idiot defending him instead of the wonderful Miles Edgeworth, who the one time he was a defense attorney did so well, they made him promise to never be a defense attorney again, because every case would be solved instantly. And also because when he was defending Larry, Butts revealed a terrible and horrible drawing to the court. But yeah, I know I have to catch a shiny Tsundere Mime Jr. Female Mime Jr. That still kills me. Though it doesn't kill me as much as missing Edgeworth in this game kills me. Like, that's just... It's such a shame. Also, I haven't checked up on my... Yeah, okay. I see my 2DS. It's still on and sleeping. And missing Edgeworth as much as I am, because he's great and mighty, and he wouldn't be scared. His clients are never scared. And yeah, Edgeworth absolutely would have caught a shiny female Mime Jr., and he wouldn't have had to go through an SOS battle to do it. She just would have shown up and jumped right into his arms, because he's that personable of a guy. If Melee can be a defense attorney, Edgeworth can be a Pokemon trainer. Dawning, I just thought of something. Don't do it. Anyway. But yeah, no. Edgeworth is... Again, it really strikes me as odd that after investing so much time into his character, he's completely gone from this game. You'd think that he'd have ended up like chief prosecutor or so. I mean, there was a vacancy for chief prosecutor, presumably, after Rise from the Ashes. Like, they'd have him cameo or something in this game. But I'm 3 cases... I mean, first of all, Phoenix isn't even in this game. Or in this case, I should say. Phoenix is... But, like, he's got to be the one that swoops to Phoenix's rescue. He has to be. Or it's not satisfying. Because Edgeworth can do no wrong. Because he's perfect. And just best boy.
and clearly the best prosecutor. And again, he has good character development. He doesn't come in out of nowhere like Klavier does. Like, again, Klavier is basically a canon stew. Or canon stew, or whatever the hell they call canonical Gary Stews or Mary Sues, where, again, it became not lower age than Franziska, because that would have been completely and totally unreasonable, but he became a prosecutor at such a low age. He came to the conclusion that Edgeworth took 2 games to come to in, like, prior to the start of his first game. He beat Phoenix Wright in his first case when Phoenix was undefeated prior to that. And yes, I still count whatever the hell the final case is of Game 2, I don't even remember what it's called. I still count that as a win for Phoenix, even though his client was declared guilty, because Phoenix actually succeeded in his defense, and then his client basically overturned that and begged for a guilty verdict. So Phoenix won, and then his client fucked it up. So, again, Edgeworth actually deserved all of the accomplishments and accolades that he got. And more. Always more. And he deserved none of the abuse that he got. And believe me, he got a lot. And a lot of it came from me because I don't know how to react to people that I like. Because, well, it's scary. He deserved none of it. And he's just a good boy and a good Edgeworth, and I miss him and can't wait for him to come back. And he would make my client not feel scared. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach. That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan? Plan? The fuck is a plan? If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify. Someone else? I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. Right. To be continued? No, to be continued. This would have been the perfect place for to be continued. July 10th, 11:28 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Well, I said that this would have basically been the perfect place for it to be continued. And it would have been. So I'm going to rectify this by ending things off here. I don't think I'm going to get very far in whatever bullshit shenanigans we're going to do. Unless, Dawning, is there a to be continued coming up very soon? Like, does the judge get in one line and then we reveal a surprise witness that suddenly the court goes whatever and... No, I think this is just a good play. But I would really hate if next week I start and I'm like, oh, I was about 2 seconds away from an actual to be continued. To be fair, it doesn't seem like, because it says trial day 2, trial day 2. Okay, not for a while. Alright, so yeah, we're getting close to where I end things off for the day anyway, so I'll end things off here so that I don't get stuck literally in the middle of something. But yeah, alright. So, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, or only caught part of it, you can watch the full thing over on my YouTube channel, along with all of my other content over there. You can watch, if you were on YouTube and you want to actually catch me live, you can catch me live on my Twitch channel over there. I go live Monday evenings and Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. United States Central Time. Monday evenings are still Ace Attorney, though we are in Apollo Justice. Wednesday evenings are Pokemon Blaze Black, and will remain so until I catch all 649 Pokemon, which I assume will happen after I complete the game, because it's fun. You can also catch me live on the Bulba Garden channel playing actual, legitimate Pokemon games. Currently, I am streaming Pokemon Ultra Sun on Sundays. It is a unique gimmick where I basically don't get to choose my own encounters. I get to a new location and have to spin wheels, and the wheel has a list of all of the Pokemon available on the route, along with no encounter. And whatever that wheel spins, I have to encounter. Then I have to spin the gender wheel, if applicable. Right, if it's a Pokemon that's, 100% male, 100% female, or genderless, obviously no gender wheel. And then I spin the shiny wheel. And the shiny wheel dictates whether or not that Pokemon has to be shiny or not. And if the wheels then dictate that I have to catch a shiny female Mime Jr., and a shiny male Mime Jr. shows up, well, I have to KO the shiny male Mime Jr. and then leave my 2DS on sleep mode for a week so that I don't break that chain. I'm not bitter or sore at all. Anyway, don't remember if I said, but I start at 8:30 a.m. U.S. Central Time on Sundays with that. It's fun. Probably. You can also find other excellent streamers. No, first of all, Snowy, 2 reasons why no. First reason is it's against the rules of the series, or against the rules of the challenge, which is that I can only catch Pokemon as dictated by the wheel. Or wheels, I should say. And the second reason is catching the male Mime Jr. would have broken the SOS chain. And I don't have access to Adrenaline Orbs again for a long time. And unlike actual Sun and Moon, where they'll make their own SOS battles with or without the Adrenaline Orb, in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, at most they will only call one ally Pokemon if you don't drop an Adrenaline Orb. But part of the whole point of the wheels and of the series, and the challenge specifically, is, again, I can only catch Pokemon as dictated by the wheels, so this shit was inevitable. Such is life. And again, live by the wheel, die by the wheel. Regardless, you will find other streamers on the Bulba Garden channel with less heartbreaking content. You'll find Dawning Winds there, usually Saturday nights, drawing Pokemon artwork. Caps fan still going strong there, both Thursday night and Saturday morning, with his Caps Lock and Mystery Dungeon morning, respectively. We also have Mochi streaming Monday afternoon, so actually that would have been this past afternoon, and then Abby streaming on Fridays. Good channel, check it out. Nice, fun Pokemon content. Meantime, though, of course, I hope to see you all back here Wednesday evening for my not so legitimate Pokemon content in Pokemon Blaze Black. But of course, as always, I am Maniacal Engineer, and I'm never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Thank you all for watching, and God bless this mess. Good night, everybody.